This week's episode is sponsored for dailygiving.org. Great organization, gives out $1 a day on your behalf. Even if you give charity, every time you give charity, it's a mitzvah. It's a good deed. What's powerful about daily giving is they give it out on your behalf, $1 a day, that every single day. Someone's giving out on your behalf and doing a mitzvah for you. Check them out, dailygiving.org, dailygiving.org. This week's Parasha, this week is a very powerful week. In fact, it's one of the most powerful weeks of the year. No one knows about it. It's like a stealth week. It's covert, but it's big. Symbols matter. Symbols have lots and lots and lots of meaning behind them. In the old days, kings would have symbols on everywhere in the kingdom. Even today, on clothing and on flags, all over, we see symbols, and we see something. It brings us meaning that's really deep. If I would ask you, what is the Jewish symbol? You may say to me, Star of David. And to some extent, that's true. Sure. But this week, we are reminded of maybe the most powerful Jewish symbol that you've never seen on anywhere, but is the most powerful Jewish symbol. So this week is a special week. It's called Parshas HaChodesh. It's the weekend before the renewal of the month. The new month of Nisan is coming. And Nisan is not just a month, it's the first month of the year. It's the month of redemption. And so we actually read a portion this weekend that we borrow from earlier on, in which God is basically saving the Jews from Egypt, and he pauses to tell Moses and Aaron about how to create or understand the renewal of the month. And he teaches them that the way months get renewed in Judaism is by the moon. Our cycle, for the most part, is based on the lunar cycle. We go by the moon. Each month starts by the moon. In fact, in the old days of the temple, they would start months by when they actually saw the moon. So each month started a few days apart. And so God stopped what he was doing. If you look through the portions, plagues, and they're about to leave, and he stops and he says to Moses and Aaron, this month, the month of Nisan, let me show you how to find it. Let me show you how to create the new month. And he points up and he shows them about the moon. First, so to speak, mitzvah that we have as a nation is the new moon. And the moon is actually connected to the Jewish people. That's our symbol. You know where it hangs? Every single day. You look up and you see a symbol of the Jewish people, the moon. Why? What's God telling us? So I believe he's giving us the greatest lesson of all. The Jews are about to be free for the first time. The Jewish nation was about to leave, but guess what happens when you're free? When you're free, you're responsible. When you're a kid, you want the car, you want this, you hate school, but you have a certain sense of security because someone's always directing you what to do. When you grow up and you're on someone else's dime, when you work and do things and there's someone on top of you, it's someone else's fault ultimately. And there's a certain level of ability to sort of like push off the blame. But one day you go on your own. You graduate. You start your own thing. And you look around and you realize there's no one else to blame. When I mess up, it's on me. That's the responsibility of freedom. And when you do that, you run a really big risk. Because life is not perfect. And the process of success is failure. And when you're out there on your own, when you're trying to start things, when you're trying to do things, you're going to trip a lot. Parents trip up a lot. Leaders trip up a lot. Bosses trip up a lot. People trip up a lot. And over time, you trip up, you end up saying to yourself, I didn't fail. I'm a failure. And God turns to the Jewish people and says, you're about to go off on your own. It's big. It's big. And when you go off on your own, you're going to fail. But I'm telling you something. Remember that you always have this power that I'm giving you called renewal. It looks like yesterday is today, but today is a brand new day. And as far as you think you're going to fall, the end of the day, what's inside you is me. You're always getting new energy. You're always getting new opportunities. Every single day, I want you to look at it as a new day. You can always come back. You can always start fresh. You can always move on. You can always turn the page. If you go out in the world and you don't know that you have a button called renewal, you're going to allow your failures to define you. But when you understand that I don't see you as a failure and you can't see yourself as a failure, every day you get a chance to do it again. You renew and renew and renew, and there's always again. And tomorrow we're going to do it, and this too will pass. When you have hopes for the future, when you know that tomorrow could be better, you'll get the strength to keep on trying. So before you leave Egypt, God says, look up to the sky in the darkness and notice that month, that moon was full and it fell. But you know why it fell? Because it's going to renew itself. And every month we do it again, and we try harder, and we keep at it, and we just keep trying and renewing, because that's the secret to success. This week is the anniversary when God showed Moses and Aaron that moon. And so we read the portion. And this is the Shabbat that has that energy in it of renewal. Wherever you are this weekend, wherever you are this Shabbos, this Shabbat, think about any failure that is holding you back and realize that you have the power of renewal. You can always make it. You can always do better tomorrow. We can always learn from the past. We don't got to repeat it to the future. There's always hope. We are the moon. We wax and wane. There are moments we're on the top, moments we're on the bottom, but even when we're on the bottom, we're just really getting ready to go back up. The power of the moon. The power of that incredible symbol taking place this weekend as we enter into the beginning of the new year.